welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your destination, your site for learning classic rock songs on this wonderful little 8-string instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and thanks once again for tuning in to this channel and tuning in for another classic from the Beatles. This song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, is really cool to play on the mandolin. You can replicate that keyboard part from the original track on the mandolin really nicely and really get into playing this song. And well, it really goes over well if you play it live with a band or a singer or somebody on guitar. So have a lot of fun with it, and the lesson will be coming up shortly. But first, before we get into this song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles, if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing here. But please hit that little red button, that subscriber button down there in the lower right corner before you leave. And well, that really helps us to build this channel into something wonderful into the future. If you have already subscribed to this channel, thank you very much for your ongoing support. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to help us a little bit more, perhaps a little bit financially, please don't hesitate to check out our Patreon page down below. The link is in the comments section. Over on Patreon, I'll be putting some videos there that you won't see on this channel, specifically lessons for playing the mandolin, not specific chord or song, or not specific song lessons, but certainly lessons on chord patterns and on strumming and on tuning. I'll even do some equipment reviews over there on some of the equipment that I use when I play with my live bands. But now, without further ado, let's get into that Beatles classic, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, here on RPM. All right, thanks for checking out Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds here on RPM. It starts off with this wonderful little chord progression. Actually, it's a little arpeggiated chord, meaning the individual notes in a chord are picked out. So here we go. It goes... All right, so that's a really interesting part. Originally played on a keyboard, but sounds so nice here on the mandolin. So what am I doing there? Well, I'm starting off with this note, which is a B note. All right, and that is the second fret of the D string. Okay, and actually, to be honest with you, this whole thing is played over an A chord, but I'm not playing the bottom note here. I'm just, for this version of this progression, I'm just starting off with this B note here. And then I'm just picking these two strings open, the A string and the E string, right? Which gives us an A chord, or an E chord. It could be either. All right, so just simple strumming pattern, simple picking pattern there. Okay, and then you shift over to the 5th fret of the D string, and you hit those two open strings again, but in the reverse order. So you're hitting the E note here, and then you're catching the A and the E. But when you go here, the 5th fret, then you hit E, A. I'll show you that again slowly. You see, the first time you go up, and the second time you go down. All right? Then you just shift this note here down to here, the 4th fret, and again, you go up again on those two open strings. So basically, you're just playing a little pattern here on the D string and catching these two open strings as well, just in a slightly different order. All right, not the same way each time. So I'll show you that part one more time. You go... All right, one more time. And then you move down from the 4th fret to the 3rd fret, and you do a different little pattern. I'll show you that here. So start off here. Now to the 3rd fret, and you catch those notes there on the A string with that little pattern, okay? So it's 5, 4, open, all right? One more time. You got that? It's pretty simple, isn't it? But it's really nice and sounds so sweet on the mandolin. Okay, so let's look at the verses. So first you start off with that pattern I just showed you. And you do that a few times. I think 3 times you go through that. On the 4th time, you go to there. So you go like that. All right, instead of you don't do that on the 4th time through the pattern. So one more time. All right, so what is that? Well, that is kind of a version of an F chord. All right, so you're holding the F note here, which is 3rd fret of the D string, and you're also holding the 3rd here, the C note, which is the 3rd fret of the A string, but you're taking that C note off like that. You keep this F anchored here at the 3rd fret, and you're doing that sort of pattern. All right, so one more time, the last half of the verse. You see how that works? Okay, so let's do the entire verse again. You ready? And so the final time they go through the verse, they end the verses, they stay from that note there, the G note, they do a little bit of a pattern like this. So what are those notes? Well, coming off that chord there, right, from the pattern, you jump up to this note here, which is the 4th fret of the A string, and then to the 7th fret of the A string. And you do that 3 times. 2, 3, right? And then you just slide that whole pattern up a half step from the 5th fret to the 8th fret, and you do it twice. So one more time. And you kind of hold on to that note a little bit there. So let's go through that again. Okay, and then you get to the next part, which is the pre-chorus, and it starts off with a B flat chord. So I'm playing the B flat chord here at the 3rd fret of the G string. I'm barring these 2 notes here, and then I'm planting my ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. So 3, 3, 5. All right, so that's a B flat chord, major, B flat major. Then you move to the C chord, which is the same thing, just 2 frets over. Right, so 5, 5, and 7, right? So, and this part you're just doing a very steady downstroke there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And then you go down to an F chord. Same pattern, right? And back to the B flat again. And then a C again. To a G chord. To a D chord. Okay, so one more time. And you're just doing those downstroke patterns. 1, 2, 3, B flat, C, F, B flat, C, G, D. Just once on the D. And then you go boom, boom, right? The drums come in. Lucy and Scott, right? And they go into the chorus. All right, so from there, it's right to the chorus. So what are the chords for the chorus? Well, they're pretty basic, and this is a really fun part to play. Totally different rhythm from the rest of the song. The chords are G, C, and D. That's it. Basic open chords, and it goes. So what are those chords? Well, that's a G. You go 1, 2, 3, and then kind of a muted ghost note thing there, like that, palm muted, so. Up to the D chord, so G, Lucy in the sky with diamonds, right? Lucy in the sky with diamonds, right? And you stay on the D for an extra couple of beats. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So I was adding a few extra embellishments there. So dun 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 dun, right? So that is where you use alternate picking, up and down strokes on your right hand. So like that. And it's always good to start off with sort of a one on the one beat. Hit something close to the root. So I'm hitting the G root here, which is the string, right? So now I'm not playing the roots on those chords, but I'm still using that pattern. And then what I do to sort of replicate the original version when I'm on the D chord, I go and then to an A chord. All right, so you're on a D chord, and I'm hitting the D note and the A note here. So D open and the A note, which is the second fret there. And then I'm adding this finger to the second fret of the D string to make it an A chord. So watch. Right? Lucy in the sky. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Okay, let's do that at D. Right? Let's do the end. You can just end it right on that A chord. Sounds really cool. And that's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Beatles classic for mandolin here on RPM. My name is Mike DeJong. Thanks for checking out this tutorial. Please check out the many other lesson videos we have on this channel. If you're new here, once again, please hit that little red subscriber button on the way out. If you are already a subscriber, thanks so much for your ongoing support. And please, if you can support us a little bit more by checking out our Patreon page. Thanks again for watching RPM. My name is Mike DeJong, and sayonara from Tokyo, Japan.